Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Virgos, let's go ahead and jump on in. And we need to do a little topic here for that full moon, the buck moon. That is going to be our full moon in July. It's going to peak tomorrow on the 10th. So we got to take a peek at that. Now, it's named the buck moon. And of course, there are always a multitude of other names, but the one we'll go with right now is the buck moon. And that is because this is the time of the year where the deer's antlers are in full growth spurt. So full moons are great about like releasing energies, of course. But now we also have this energy of like tremendous accelerated growth. So we'll keep that in mind. And we have a Four of Cups. If there is anything out there that either has been an illusion for Virgo, it might be a good time to look at that and let it go. Sometimes we think we missed out on something and we didn't. In truth, it wouldn't have fit. It's like, you walk by a cute pair of shoes and you're like, oh my God, I'll always dream of that pair that I didn't buy. But it's like, yeah, but they weren't in my size. I know, but they were half a size too small. I could have bought them and then what? Owned them and said, wow, they're so pretty. But every time I put them on, I can't quite get my heel in the back of it. It's an illusion. We couldn't have bought those beautiful shoes. They belonged to somebody else. So let them go. We get the Seven of Wands. Okay, it's definitely talking about it. This doesn't have to be Virgo. Keep in mind, this could be somebody who is feeling like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't salvage this with Virgo. I have this big regret that it couldn't work, but I just couldn't. And this Seven of Wands would say, it's all in how we get through an obstacle. So let's use the analogy of somebody just having this illusion that, oh, I could have bought that, I could have had that, and I didn't. This says not only let go of the illusion, whatever the illusion might be. Sometimes the illusion is that's such a bummer that got taken away from me. And it's like, no, you didn't fight hard enough for it. So this storyline could go in either direction. It's about how do we overcome the struggle? First, let's deal with facts, not illusions. And then let's ask ourselves, how did we get through the obstacle? Did we actually put energy into the thing that we really wanted? Did we find another solution? Did we go into the store and ask the sales clerk, hey, does this come in my size? Can I order this online? Is there another outlet I could go to that has these in my size? Did I ask around to get the shoes that I really wanted? Or did I just surrender it and then I'm all sad about it? And that's the illusion. I could have had this, but I didn't pursue it. It's all about like know what to let go of or be honest enough with oneself to know what energy hasn't been fully explored yet. I don't think that this storyline hints that something is like too late or it's done and it's over. This says there's still very much an opportunity for something. We have the Sun, which is, oh my God, I'm gaining clarity. It's true. I thought this was over. I thought this was done, but really maybe I wasn't putting enough effort into it. If I still want this, maybe I should call up that store and see if they make them in my size, see if their distributor could give me those shoes, or if this is about a lover. And again, this could be about Virgo, or this could be, right now we have a masculine on every single card. So whomever this is, we're going to say is possibly a masculine. Now at this point, we actually don't have anything here to say that it's Virgo. We have only cups energy, wand energy, and then specifically we have Leo. So I will say this. I'm not sure that this has anything to do with Virgo at the moment, but it could impact Virgo because this person has a bow and arrow, right? So they're an archer, and they may be, if this is all about someone else, possibly a divine masculine, possibly a fire sign or water sign, or specifically a Leo out of the fire sign family, who has been insisting that I'm so bummed out, this didn't happen. I didn't get to hire Virgo. I didn't get to date Virgo. Me and Virgo, it just fell apart. This is actually possibly the time to let go of that illusion and start to deal with facts and understand that, hey, have I actually exhausted all avenues? Because the Seven of Cups says, maybe where there's a will, there's a way. Maybe there is still a way that I could make this happen. Maybe I didn't think about how I could still get this accomplished, how I could still get this done, or how I could still maybe talk to Virgo and not let Virgo slip through my fingertips. Six of Swords. Maybe there is a way to make peace with something, to heal something, to move something into calmer waters. This is not like, ooh, let me fight for this by being, loud and aggressive. This is, when we use the term, I want to fight for this. It's like, like I said, we'll use the analogy of, wow, there's this cute pair of shoes. I really want them. They're not in my size. Why didn't I buy them? Because they weren't in my size. So that's true. But wait a second. What if they make them in my size? Maybe I should look into this. Maybe I should fight for this by calling a couple different companies. And if I can't talk to the right distributor today because they're on vacation, I'll call back when they're back in town. It's like that's the kind of fight for something that I'm talking about. Because this is fighting for the sense of peace, actually saying, wait a minute, if this makes me so happy, why can't I still pursue it? So it feels to me like we have possibly a masculine during this full moon that, now we got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. Okay, so we have a Four of Wands sideways. If this is starting to look more like a relationship that they let go of far too soon when they weren't really ready to let it go. Virgo could feel like they're Four of Wands, they're a person that they wanted to have a harmonious relationship with, and yet there were some struggles, some obstacles, and they just kind of hunkered down and said, oh, I guess then that won't work. This could be somebody who gave up really, really, really early. And during this full moon, it's like, why don't I surrender the idea of giving up and ask myself how to take charge? Okay, so this is the story of an emperor. An emperor that I'm thinking, let me ask bluntly, how do you feel about Virgo? What do you want from Virgo? Any of those questions. Seven of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Three of Wands. I want Virgo forever in my life. I want Virgo to be my long term. I want Virgo to be the person that gives to me. This could be a same-sex couple, by the way. Virgo could be masculine. We finally have Virgo energy. Or this is simply possibly a divine masculine who says, I want Virgo to be my other half. And Virgo has this power to them. They're nurturing, they're giving, they've got great ideas. I know that they have this really grounded energy, and I want to be, part of their plans for their future. Whatever Virgo's planning, whatever actions Virgo is taking, whatever business Virgo has created, whatever Virgo is doing, I want to be a part of that. I want to collaborate. Even here, we have this lovely card of, we've got this father who's, got his son with him, and he's hugging this gigantic, water buffalo, and he's showing his son, like, our water buffalo is a part of our family. He helps us to, grow our rice fields. Like, let me show you how we do it. And then let me also teach you how to be, a good steward of our animal family members as well as living things. And, this is what feeds us, and this is what we grow. And you have to understand the essence of all living things and have a sense of gratitude and care and nurturing for them. I kind of feel like what we've got, if this energy during this full moon is going to be transformational, it actually says it's going to be transformational for somebody who wants Virgo, specifically an emperor. So this person has long-term intentions toward Virgo, and what they seem to want is to be a part of Virgo's life and world. I don't know, maybe this is the Seven of Pentacles, so this could depict our Virgo. Maybe Virgo's very loving, very nurturing, very, they have like farsightedness. Maybe they're really good with animals. They're really good with living things. They respect living creatures as, their own autonomous beings, and they treat things well. I feel like there's some essence of Virgo that this person just adores. This emperor just absolutely loves who and what Virgo is. And they can't let go of the idea that they want to be in Virgo's world. I do feel like they want to get off of some kind of battlefield and be in Virgo's world instead, because Virgo's world is lush and green. Virgo's world is stable and secure and abundant. Wherever they have been has perhaps been too much, jaws and claws. And this is them wanting instead to stop being out on the battlefield and actually start to build and grow like a nurturing environment that they already know Virgo has. That's what they want their future to be. That's where they want their empire to be, is a part of Virgo's empire. If this individual is having this sense of awareness during this full moon, I got to know, how is Virgo impacting any of this, if at all? Because this just feels like they're having this brilliant awakening. Like, oh my gosh, I know how I could do this. I might have to move myself into calmer waters, move myself away from some I don't know if they're in like a toxic environment or just I don't know, that particular emperor is, tyrannous, Jupiter, god of thunder. It's very, very, very classical male archetype with nothing to balance it or soften it. So it's like, it's all warrior protector, none of the, like peace talks, more or less. It's always being out on the defense instead of like creating a world of peace. And so I'm just wondering if this individual, if they're realizing that they would like to, like I say, fight for something different, which is for peace, to be with Virgo. Let me just, okay, that card came out funky. I was asking before, how is it that Virgo fits into all this? How is Virgo a part of this? Because I expected this to be a full moon message just for Virgo. But again, with this 10 of Pentacles, this is definitely Virgo all day. But we have this Pegasus, and we have like this ram riding on the Pegasus. It almost feels, and the Pegasus represents victory. I think that this Emperor realizes that their life would be more victorious to be with Virgo. Almost like I might have been the one out there thinking I was the Emperor and I was the warrior, but it turns out you're the one, Virgo. Oh, I'm hearing that song by the Water Boys, actually 2 songs, Sweet Thing, but I love their version of that. But you saw the whole of the moon. That's the other song by the Water Boys. And it's, the whole song is, I wandered out in the world for years while you just stayed in your room. But it's basically like, I did all these different things, but then there you were already kind of seeing the stuff that I had to go out and figure out. You saw the whole of the moon, and it's like, I went out and did this. I went out and did that. I went out and did that. But somehow you were wiser than me and you already saw more than I did. How is that possible? I feel like that's the sentiment here, especially when we get to this card. Like, Virgo is actually the Pegasus. Virgo is actually the one who's created a successful life that they want to be a part of. So Virgo's been a massive inspiration for them about what real success looks like. And it's not to be, he who dies with the most toys wins. He who has the most money banked up. He who has, whatever, vanquished foes and created, like huge, vast amount of land that they own that nobody else can live on or eat on. That's nothing necessarily to make life better. What makes life better is when you do something valuable with the resources that are there, when you practice kindness, when you actually invest, when you nurture, when you grow. And I feel like, look, I'm not saying he was some tyrannical being. He's in the upright. So we can't give him like negative attributes, but extreme attributes of what he thought his life was supposed to be dedicated to. Yes, that's the fair way to talk about this. But this is somebody, it feels like a warrior coming home and saying, this is what I've been fighting for all this time, was a, beautiful place to actually grow. And I didn't realize it, but that would be a better use of my time now. I do feel like he's shifting gears. This doesn't make him more or less. This makes him realize that the life he wants, the peace that he wants, is with Virgo. We've got that 3 of Cups. Virgo has represented the choice he could make, the place he could be, the place I think he's always wanted to be. Okay, so what is just the full moon message only for Virgo? Actually, we should probably change decks for that. What is the full moon message only for Virgo? Not in regards to him, but just, we have Wheel of Fortune, Virgo, something's changing in a big way. We have a King of Swords, and we have the moon. Virgo's life is opening up a new pathway, a new trajectory. This is super positive. This is because of Virgo's like good deeds. This is positive karma. This can be new opportunities for wealth, for growth. But this is a very important full moon for Virgo. But what's interesting is Virgo does have, here's that kind of warrior-esque energy. Virgo's going to be surprised to discover what this full moon brings in for them, because part of Virgo's new opportunities, new life, new kind of new world here comes with an individual that they would not have guessed is showing up in their life. And this could be, this is a King of Swords upright. I'm tempted to say that's probably the same person we've been talking about, even though I was specifically trying to get away from that. And the only reason I say it is because Virgo wouldn't see this coming. And all of this has been like somebody else's story up until now when I say, what's the message for Virgo's full moon? And it's like Virgo has got some seriously good karmic brownie points that are getting cashed in. And it's allowing Virgo, especially, I don't know, the 10th could be a really important day. It could be a day where a bunch of really unexpected things all come together. You know, Virgo could hear from a friend because some other friend mentioned, you know, Virgo's name. And it's like, oh, hey, I heard that you do such and such. And somebody told me this and they asked me to pass this along to you. And by the way, my aunt is looking for somebody to, you know, work in this industry. Or I heard from so-and-so who from so-and-so that you're looking for this, looking for that. Just feels like Virgo has created a network maybe of good exchanges with people, and that Virgo's starting to have a whole bunch of, like, I feel like they could feel better in their community. They could feel more connected to their neighbors. They could feel more connected, more tapped in positive ways. I feel like Virgo's going to start to have like a really, I mean, the 10th could be a great day where Virgo has a lot of like awesome energy around them, friendship energy around them, feeling like I really belong. Also, there's something about, this looks like a fingerprint to me. You can't really see it here, but it's got the, you know, the lines, you know, the sulci kind of shape to it that looks like a thumbprint almost. And I don't know if there's going to be something where Virgo's, this is all Virgo's unique thumbprint of their own life. This is the stamp of their own life that has yielded this positive turn of events. But interestingly enough, this King of Swords is somehow uniquely connected to Virgo in a way Virgo would not have expected. This could be a different person coming in to give Virgo an offer. That offer could be, sometimes it's about, you know, orders of business. It can be, you know, documents to sign. King of Swords can be, you know, kind of the rigid things. Oh, or this could be somebody coming in to tell Virgo, I have missed you, Virgo, tremendously. 5 of Cups. This is possibly, I mean, he even looks a little battle weary. I would not be shocked at all if Virgo unexpectedly has someone show back up in their life who has been missing Virgo for a very, very long time. And that is actually a positive. This person's not coming in to disrupt Virgo. In fact, with the 6 of Wands and 7 of Wands, this could be something that will give Virgo great joy. This could be the wayward child. This could be an old friend. This could be a lover. This could be somebody who unexpectedly comes back into Virgo's life, but it feels amazing for Virgo to hear from this person, for Virgo to start to maybe collaborate with this person again. And together, I think that they unblock things and they find ways forward. Could be a bandmate. It could be, it just keeps saying that there's somebody really special, but there could also be, I have to read it like a person, unless it could be like a document or something that Virgo, you know, unexpectedly gets some kind of documentation. And it's like, wow, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm hearing this or that I'm receiving this. I was really bummed out about this for such a long time. I had no idea that it was making its way back to me. I'm picturing like, you know, oh, I lost my luggage and I can't believe it, but I just got a phone call that they found my luggage from 2 years ago when I went on vacation. I can't believe they tracked me down. This is unbelievable. I got to go meet with the people who found it. You know, it could be something like that, but I got to say it looks way more like a person, like possibly a King of Swords. I have to say, I'm thinking that King of Swords is probably that Emperor. I'm thinking all of this storyline seemed to be too focused to me to break away from it, even though I did try. I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.